Today, we open with something very real and something that I would like to acknowledge, as we do not spiritually bypass on this show.
You're listening to The Holistic Ritual, a podcast for holistic health-minded humans seeking mind, body, spirit well-being. Hosted by Kamela Celeste, IIN holistic health coach, former personal trainer, and meditation guide. With over a decade of experience guiding transformation and whole person healing, you're invited into the practice of guided meditations, affirmation readings, and spiritual insights through a holistic wellness lens. Blending ancient wisdom with modern science, this space supports you in releasing, renewing, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom. Cultivating a sanctuary you can return to each week as your own holistic ritual. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
If the last couple of weeks have felt very heavy for you, understandable. The times right now here in the US are heavy. And I know many of you listening are not from the US. I wanted to acknowledge the murders of US citizens, the many Black and brown people who have died at the hands of ICE. And this moment is not a political one at all. It is about what is right and what is wrong. It is about decency, integrity, and basic human rights. The things that are allowed to go on in this country is also a possibility elsewhere, as a famous quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so it is very scary currently. It's a scary time to be in the US, especially while ICE is on our streets with unchecked power. So, with that acknowledgement, if you would like to pause here, take a moment of silence, take a moment to recenter, take a deep breath before we continue with the rest of our ritual episode today, please do. Please take that moment for yourself. Take a deep breath. Actually, I feel like we should just take a deep breath together, as it's been the air has felt very heavy lately. So before we get into our oracle reading for today, let us take a collective deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, today will be about how to be present without abandoning ourselves, how to recalibrate our nervous systems so that we can stay in this, so that we can continue to stay informed without going insane. It's important for us, we do our part to remain in the fight for human rights. Not only here in the United States, but everywhere in the world where there is injustice and inhumane things going on, such as genocides all over the world. And if today at any point feels like it is too much, we will do our typical ritual episode where we will have our card draw. I'll go over a lot of the astrology that is happening. It's very interesting to see what the astrology is doing and then how everything is transpiring collectively. So basically just cross-referencing that and just seeing how accurate and scary accurate it is. And again, if you need to step away or come back to this later at any point, feel free to do so. The most important thing about today, though, is if you landed on this because you feel like your nervous system is overwhelmed with all of this news and heaviness, there is a guided meditation at the end that will help you to regulate your nervous system, to be with yourself and your thoughts, your breath, your body, that will help you recalibrate. And if you skip everything else, that is the most important tool that I offer you here today. Now let's get into I don't even know how the best way to even segue from that, but I do know it's important for me to speak up and use my voice and use my platform, no matter how big or small. And I have Kylo on my lap today, if you can see him. You want to say hi, bud? He's a little sleepy. Hey, hi. Okay. We'll let him go back to sleep. All right, honey. I have just got a new oracle deck recently from a cute little local crystal shop. It's called Cat's Eye Crystals if you are in Denver. It is such a cute little store. They have so many crystals, so many decks, so many fun, spiritual, mystical things. And this is my new oracle deck today that I was very drawn to whenever I was in the store. And so I feel like we could just use a collective read today. Oh, and there he goes. I feel like we could use a moment to see what our guides are saying. How do we get through this? How do we move forward? How do we stay here without going insane? That one flew out so much. This one fell on the floor. So, 2 cards today. We have divine guidance and passion. So, let us take a look at our guidebook here. Talisman Oracle is the deck if you are curious. Okay, divine guidance. It is best to watch out for a sign before moving forward. You are ready to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, but don't decide to embrace on any one aspect of your life just yet. Wait for some information to emerge before making that choice. This card can also mean that it's best to use your intuition to make the final call rather than your rational mind. Try to read the signs carefully and trust your instincts, although it may be frustrating to wait. Proceeding when the time is right will be much more rewarding. Use this card when you feel at a crossroad, when you need a sign. Self-doubt can be overpowering, but waiting for the right time is necessary at this juncture. And there is a frog on the front of the card. Divine guidance. It says the frog stays still before getting ready to re-energize. Imagine being the frog and patiently waiting for the right moment. If waiting feels hard, try focusing your attention on all the sounds in nature the frog could be hearing. So staying present, being with our minds, with our bodies, waiting for that right moment to come. Using all of our senses before we act, before making a decision. And in conjunction with that, we have passion. Allow your passion to rise up. Sometimes we try to suppress our desires to fit the social expectations and norms, but we can use this powerful force to thrive in a personal or professional matter. Our passion for life is immense because it comes from a place of love. This feeling is the ultimate and most powerful energy that we can emit. Be passionate about what you do and believe. Do not carry out decisions based on fear, worry, guilt, or shame. The state of mind can only bring the same type of negative feelings back to you. Choose the best version of yourself and project that passion out into the universe. Use this card when you need to strengthen your beliefs, elevate your thought frequency, and project your passion. Spend some time envisioning your ideals and goals, and then go for it. So, divine guidance. Wait, be patient, be present. Lean on your guides. What are they telling you? And passion. Passion to solidify your beliefs, solidify and going after what you love, what your heart is speaking to you to do. So maybe that is starting a new venture, starting a new project. Maybe you want to start that food blog. Maybe you want to take a really big trip this year. Maybe you are just passionate about all of the injustice and inhumane things that we are seeing in the news and that are going on in the world right now. Taking that passion, being discerning with your divine guidance, sitting on it. How is the best way to move forward, to express that passion? What is going to be the most impactful thing that you can do? So whether you are going after your dream of applying for a new job, taking that day by day, step by step, one day at a time, being discerning, and not just applying for things maybe that are not aligned with what you want to do, taking your time to only apply for things that you love to do and that you know or suspect would be a really great fit for you. If you are wanting to take a big trip this year, taking the time to do the research, maybe even meditating, where are places that your soul is being called to? Where's that passion being drawn to? Is it to experience different cultures, different food, different people, different sights, something different than your everyday norm? Or if you're wanting to make an impact about all of these atrocities that are going on, thinking about all the things that you can do to stay grounded, to be the most impactful. Is that calling your representatives? Is that getting out there to protest? Is that having a really hard conversation with somebody close to you? Or maybe it is utilizing your resources to donate to immigrant aid funds, to helping get food and aid to countries that are having genocide. Whatever it is that you are passionate about currently, right now, whatever is the first thing that popped in your mind when I said passion, that is your thing. That is your focus. That is what you need to sit, to ruminate, to meditate on, to journal about, to spend some time being present with yourself, to figure out, what is my next step? How can I channel this passion into aligned and impactful action? Okay, that is our guidance for the day, and very fitting. Let me just clean this up real fast while I talk to you about some of the astrology. Now we are at a threshold moment. There are a lot of powerful planets in a lot of powerful places. So, what the hell does that mean? Over the last several days, we've experienced a rare concentration of intensity in Aquarius. It's a sign that's connected to humanity, collective systems, justice, innovation, and a shared future. Pluto recently moved into Aquarius? Aquarius. If you recall, Pluto is a very slow moving sign. A lot of your friends, if you look at their charts, say you are a millennial, a lot of your friends are also going to have their Pluto in Scorpio. But anyway, that's a little tangent. Pluto recently moved into Aquarius. It's amplifying those themes of truth, power, and transformation in the collective. Neptune moved into Aries, which calls for stirring up lots of deep emotional sensitivities alongside the knee jerk want to take action. It's like you could all of a sudden feel like, I need to do something about this in this certain area of your life. Mars also joined Pluto in Aquarius. Mars is a very passionate sign. It is anger, it is action, it is urgency, and it's a desire for change. So, as we've seen collectively, things have felt heavier, louder, and a lot more emotionally charged over the last couple of weeks and couple of days. So, what does it mean that Mars and Pluto are both in Aquarius right now? What is the collective personal vibe? Make sure I just go over, hit everything I want to hit for my notes. High level overview of Mars and Pluto together in Aquarius. It adds a voltage to the collective. It's almost like shocking the collective. A lot of mental overstimulation. You could be ruminating or overthinking about every little thing lately. Sudden realizations or just hard to let go of moments. So it could be I can't unsee this. I can't stop thinking about this. I can't believe I never thought about this. Just a lot of light bulb moments. It's a very strange mix of emotional and deep moral outrage. So a lot of our morals and values are going to, if they haven't already been there, you're going to want to speak very strongly about what you believe in and what you feel. And it also puts a lot of pressure on systems, governments, institutions, technology. We could have, even though it is not a Mercury retrograde, in the sense of technology being weird, we could have some of that happening too. Also, social structures and communities. So as we've seen over the last few days, we've had communities come together to protest these horrific deaths from ICE. We've had the government that is lying to our faces, out of control, very chaotic. So the astrology lines up. And then we also see things on a global scale as well. Tensions are getting heated. So again, Aquarius rules humanity, justice, network systems, and the future. Those are the things that are going to be highlighted during this transit. Together, this combination is saying something about the way things are structured at this moment is no longer sustainable. And I feel like that's why a lot of people feel overstimulated, but also frozen. They feel angry, but also exhausted, awake, but numb or disoriented. And there might be a sense of they're unsure, collectively unsure how to respond. That's this transit. So it can feel very dysregulating on the body. Aquarius, think about Aquarius as affecting everything above the neck. So mind, thoughts, information, your nervous system. So if you reflect on your behavior and habits over the last few weeks, few days, since this transit has been enacted or leading up to it, can also be a little shadow period before a lot of doom scrolling, a lot of hyper vigilance, maybe dissociation or even mental burnout. So again, it's kind of like this, I need to do something, I just don't know what to do kind of energy. Nervous system care is so essential right now, and which is why I needed to offer this guided meditation at the end of our practice. So I hope that you will stick around for that. And then also for a lot of very intuitive, very tapped in individuals, you're likely going to be feeling a lot of this and not know how to separate, is this mine that I've been carrying, or is this the collectives that I've been carrying, that I now have been inundated with, that I feel like it is my own. Very important for you to take time offline, take time to rest, take time to journal and get out everything you've been feeling, even if it's just you don't know what to write. Please just sit down with yourself, write about anything that comes to mind. I promise you it'll probably just start flowing out. That's usually what happens to me. This transit isn't asking for chaos or necessarily the knee-jerk reaction that you may have been feeling. It's asking us for conscious, values-led responses. Mars says act. Pluto says act, but from truth, not reactivity. Think about Mars and Pluto right now. There's these two forces that are shoving each other, trying to get through this one doorway that can only fit one of them. That's kind of like the best way I know how to describe this. And then Aquarius is kind of like nudging both of them. Remember, like patting both of their backs as they're trying to go through this door. Remember, this is about collective impact. So be aware of feeling impulsive about things. Reflect before speaking and going forward. Have a bit more discernment and be a bit more intentional with your words and with your actions, especially because it's just a very much a time that could feel like you're more prone to being a lot more impulsive. Okay, let's figure out, what does this mean for our own birth charts? So I wrote everything down, so I'm going to go through this list. For this Mars, Pluto, and Aquarius transit, let's look at where Aquarius is in your chart. What house, what piece of the pie in your birth chart, and I use whole sign astrology. This is the area that's being activated. This is the area that is being put under pressure. This is the area that is coming online again to say, hey, I'm ready to be in this now. House by house guide. First house, all about your identity, embodiment, how you take up space. If you are an Aquarius rising, your identity right now could be under a microscope for you. You may feel called to just kind of like redefine who you are, or going through some sort of like self-editing and thinking about how you present yourself. Second house, values, money, self-worth. Those themes could be coming up for you right now. Pressure around what you stand for versus what you will tolerate. That could be the whole thing coming up. So, thinking about that with your own values and morals, what will you stand for, what will you tolerate, what action will you take, but also in your everyday life too. Third house, communication, media, thinking. All of these things, you, my friends, my third house Aquariuses, please take care of your mental health right now. You could be very mentally overstimulated. It's going to be really important for you to not doom scroll, to not overthink everything. And if you find yourself in that spiral of thinking, to maybe do some EFT tapping. So little tapping points all over your meridians to help you calm yourself. You can look it up on YouTube. EFT tapping. You might feel like some strong opinions of yours are bubbling up, and you need to think before you speak right now. that is going to be very important for you. Fourth house, that's your home, your roots, your safety. This could be bringing up a lot of deep questions about where do you feel most at home? Where do you belong? Where feels the safest? You could even be thinking about moving potentially. Any type of themes surrounding the home, roots, sense of safety. Fifth house, creativity, joy, self-expression. You could be diving in more to your creative projects and you maybe wanting to put some more meaning behind these creative pursuits. Think about not just being a consumer during this transit, but actually putting your energy, taking action to put into your creative pursuits, whatever that looks like for you. Sixth house, health, routines, nervous system. You, my dear, are going to burn out so easily if you don't care for your nervous system. Take it slow, take it day by day. The pacing, you set the tone, even if it's just recognizing your breathing. However you are breathing is the pace, is the tone that you are going at. If you are breathing very shallowly or very quickly, that is going to lead your nervous system to burn out because it thinks it's a threat, it's a danger. Check in with yourself, check in with your breath, slow your breath down. That is the easiest, quickest practice that you can do to support yourself right now. Seventh house, relationships, they are at the forefront right now. You could be having trouble with some power dynamics in your one-on-one relationships. Maybe some boundaries are coming up for you. Maybe you didn't know you had certain boundaries and you feel like now you need to take the action in order to clearly express those boundaries or to uphold those boundaries. And then also truth telling. Things in your relationships, you could feel like you need to take action to be truthful about something. Maybe it is revealing your feelings about a certain someone. Maybe it is being honest and truthful with someone in the sense that you're really not that interested in them. You could be feeling very strongly about those type of actions. So just be discerning about those as those different things come up for you. Eighth house Aquarius is very heavy house, eighth house. Trauma, intimacy, shared resources. You could be going through a lot of very profound emotional processing. A lot of things could be that have been under the surface for you emotionally that have just been sitting there. They're probably going to bubble up at this point in time. And you need to make sure that you have a game plan for that. Do you have a container to express that in a healthy way? Is it journaling? Is it therapy? Is it a trusted friend that you can talk to about some of these deeper emotional things? You've got to take care of your mental health, and the action could just be the emotions are coming up, and the action is to process them. Ninth house, beliefs, worldview, justice, also could be travel. So your moral compass could be strongly pointing to what you need to do, where you need to go, what you need to speak up about. You may feel like you want to travel, also education as well. So you could feel like you want to take action to plan a trip. You want to look into maybe taking some type of course or going back to school, some type of education, and then really reflecting on your personal beliefs and your worldview. So during this time, your moral compass just could be sharpening a bit more. 10th house, career, public roles. This is a question of integrity, visibility, and responsibility in your workplace and your career. A lot of action could be coming You could be wanting to take certain routes in your career that you feel very strongly about. But again, just be discerning. Maybe you want to switch careers. Maybe you want to take action to be in that public facing role more. Think about all of those things that have to do with your career and being in the public eye in whatever sense that means to you. Okay, 2 more houses. We're almost done. 11th house, community, collective work. This is bringing up the question, who are your people? Like, actually, who are they? Do you have the right kind of people in your life? A lot of these are reflective questions for all of these houses because Pluto, planet of transformation, Mars, planet of action, reflective questioning about who are your people? Do you feel like you really have the support system in your life? Is there an area that you would like to develop in terms of having different kinds of friends, having different kinds of spaces and communities to go to? Maybe you have friends who you work out with, or you have other friends who you talk about books with. Do you have the support system and community that you need right now? And if you don't, what actions are you going to take in order to make sure that you are giving yourself and setting yourself up for that community? 12th house, another heavy house, house of the hidden, the subconscious, grief and rest. So this could be a very heavy time for you as well. A lot of deep emotional things could be coming up. A lot of internal processing that could be very draining. So rest right now for you is non-negotiable, and make sure that you are taking all of this internal processing, everything that's going on, that you're feeling, that you're wanting, giving it an outlet. Take the action to give it an outlet. And also, this could be connecting with your spirit team, with your guides right now. So maybe leaning into more divinity work, working with a pendulum, working with oracle cards or tarot cards, taking action to make sure that you are in communication with yourself and your spirit team. And it doesn't just stay in your mind and in your body. You are getting it out somehow and taking that action to get it out. Whew. Okay, that was a lot for today. So also any planets that you have in Aquarius in these houses, just for a very quick added addition, you're going to want to look into what those planets, how they are going to activate some of these houses, how they're going to fit into the mix as well. So a lot of heavy energy, as we have seen, as we see every day in the news. You don't need to be calm all the time. You don't need to explain yourself perfectly. If you have a lot that you are dealing with, as we just went over all of the houses and what you could possibly be dealing with currently, things are heavy right now. This is your sign to regulate your nervous system. Choose intentional action over constant action. Make sure that you are connecting with your body in some way, shape, or form. And then just remember to move at a pace that honors you as a human. And remembering our nervous systems weren't designed to constantly be absorbing all of these traumatic things, all of these traumatic headlines. When we overconsume all of this news and trauma, it doesn't make us more effective. It doesn't make us more prone to want to take action. It makes us more exhausted. It numbs us out a whole lot better than taking it in bursts and in sprints. And I know easier said than done. And doing something for whatever you're passionate about currently doesn't mean you have to do everything. Even if it is one donation, one conversation, one shared resource, one phone call to your reps. And I am going to be including some resources in the show notes for you to check out. if you would like to support immigrants and families who have been terrorized by ICE. So engage with whatever you have the capacity for. Again, you don't have to do it all. You just have to do one thing. All right. Before we get into our meditation, that was quite a lot to sit with. I am going to light some Palo Santo incense, and I'm going to do a couple of clearings for us with my tuning fork. So if you will, know that we are transitioning to our guided meditation here very shortly. And hopefully you will be able to find this sufficient care for your nervous system. And again, this practice is not about numbing yourself so you are tolerant of injustice, tolerant of your situation. It's about giving your nervous system enough support so you can stay connected, responsive, and to remember that you are human, you are here with your body, with your mind, with your soul. Today's meditation, we will be using SBNRR, a stress relieving practice, which is known as stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. So as I chime my tuning fork a few times, you can sit down, you can lie down, wherever you would like to do this meditation, but you should be in some type of comfortable position. And the meditation today is primarily focused on relieving stress. So allow yourself to find a comfortable position, settle in as I chime my tuning fork. Hopefully you are somewhere where your spine is long and can be supported. Maybe by now you have closed your eyes. Or you can simply just keep your eyelids low. In whatever position you've landed in, just allow your shoulders to drop. And let your belly soften. There's no need to brace your stomach. We're here to relieve stress, not by pushing anything away, but by creating a little more space around what you're carrying. And take a big full breath in. And a long, slow breath out. And again, repeating, breathing in. And as you breathe out, allow anything that feels tight, heavy, or overworked to melt away. And stopping in this moment here. And there's nowhere else you need to be right now. Noticing your breath. Just let your breathing be natural, unforced. Noticing by checking in with the body. Are there places that hold tension for you? The jaw, the shoulders, the chest. Allow those spaces to gently soften the next time you exhale. And of course, you are welcome to shift or move if that feels supportive. Now, notice your mind. Are there stories or images taking up space that don't need to be here in this moment? You don't need to push them away. Just allow them to pass through. Notice your heart. Sense into your chest. Noticing the front of your body. Is there warmth, tightness, openness, numbness? Whatever is here is allowed. Just observe it without any judgment. And take another deep breath in. And let it all out through your mouth. Notice if there's even a small sense of space now, of ease, or a steadiness that wasn't there before. And as we begin to close, you might want to place your hand over your heart, or you can keep your palms on top of each other, right on your rib cage, or your palms by your sides facing up. And you can repeat these next words, or you can just silently repeat them in your mind. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be supported. One last deepest inhale of the practice. And let it all go. You can return to this practice anytime you feel overwhelmed, as a way to nourish yourself, not to fix yourself. And as you move back into your day, just remember that caring for yourself, for your nervous system, is not a withdrawal. It is a necessity, and it is what allows you to stay in it. Do what you can, when you can. Rest when you need to, and remember to be present, not only with those around you, but with yourself as well. Thank you so much for being here today, for doing this ritual together, for practicing the meditation together. I know it was a shorter one, so if it was not your jam or not long enough, I have a whole playlist of meditations on my YouTube channel. I'm sure there will be something else for you. Until the next one, I'm your host, Kamela Celeste, signing off.